Sands is the stillbirth and neonatal death society. They support anybody affected by the loss of a baby, the loss of a baby before, during or shortly after birth. My story is my wife and niece and myself, so she became pregnant with our first son in the summer of 2003. During the pregnancy she actually got quite ill and was in intensive care, and at one point never made it through the night. She had kidney failure and was quite close to drowning in her own fluid. She filled up that much fluid, but they got her through that at South Hospital. They're absolutely brilliant. Put her on dialysis 6 days a week to try and get her through the pregnancy as far as they could, and so it was the first safest time to deliver the baby. The 2nd of January 2004, she had dialysis. We went across to maternity after the dialysis for a scan. My mum was with us. We were excited. We were going to go shopping for baby stuff after. They come into the scan, and sadly there was no heartbeat, and just darkness sort of descended to me in the room, and just felt like I stopped breathing for ages. Bristol Sands was around at the time, but I was, if I'm being completely honest, I was too cowardly to go and look for support. Didn't think I needed it, didn't think it was the man thing to do. And it took 14 years before I turned up at a support meeting, took part in the Bristol 10K and for Bristol Sands to help raise the money, and realised I needed to go to a support meeting. Sat there, told our story like I'm sort of telling it now, and it was like a weight off my shoulders. It was something I needed to do and use the proper language in talking about it, and I hadn't realised I hadn't ever done that. And then towards the end of last year, a couple of conversations with dads that I knew at Sands, some of them on the committee, about starting the football team, because I'd found out about the football team started up in Northampton by Rob Allen earlier on that year, and it was the Sands United is a sort of growing movement across the country. And early in the year, started trying to recruit players, trying to reach out to dads, brothers, uncles, nephews, cousins, granddads who've all been affected by the loss of a baby before, during or shortly after birth. And bit by bit we've picked up players, increased the squad, and we've now got just over 30 players, and we're playing here today. But it's a way for guys to come together and get a bit of support. So today we're going to get our shirts off of our families as we go back in after warming up for the first time. We'll get our first shirts from them. Every player picks a number, has got their own squad number. Mine is 27, it's as many weeks as the pregnancy it was when we lost Thomas, and we all play with our Angels names underneath the badge. Each training session before we start, we gather around and either have a minute's silence, is tradition. But if there's a player in the squad who's got an anniversary close to when we're training, it's their choice whether to have a minute's silence or a minute's applause. We've had a couple of ones where we've done a minute's applause, but today, with our first game, we're going to gather with our brothers from Wales in the centre circle, and there'll be a minute's silence before we start today.